country prepare to return to in-person learning, the White House is pushing for students 12 and older to get vaccinated. But for some young adults, their parents may not agree to getting them vaccinated against COVID. One teenager is helping her peers get informed about their rights, and she is joining us now. Kelly Daniel-Poor, who is the founder of Vaccine, which is a website. Kelly, thank you so much for being with us. You have this website, and it allows teenagers to go on and look at state-specific information about what they can and cannot do when it comes to their health if they don't have the consent of a person, or of a parent, I should say. You know, so explain this. How do young people, if they don't have consent, proceed? How do they do that?
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, so I actually, prior to the pandemic, started Vaccine after discovering that many teenagers whose parents really didn't have very positive views about vaccinations were going online and trying to get vaccinated and seeking this information. And so if you are a teen whose parent perhaps doesn't hold such a great view of vaccines, you, in certain states, do have rights related to the right to get vaccinated. And so you, in various states, there are bills, laws, accepted practices, which state that a minor can get vaccinated or receive specific healthcare services, including vaccines, without the consent of a parent or guardian.
So you cite on your website the different laws. You can go look there state by state. I was surprised to find out that there are many states where, as long as a doctor believes that the young person is informed and is doing this with proper information, that they can go ahead and proceed. What about a situation where, you know, like a family doctor might not want to override parents? What happens then?
That's fair, and yes, many of the bills and laws that do uphold this right depend on a judgment of maturity by a provider. So the provider has to say that they believe that a young person is sufficiently mature to make this decision for themselves. And it is this gray area, and I think it is hard for a young person, for a parent, for a provider to sort of determine what is right and what conversations should be had. And so I think, yeah, it is very fair that a provider may not want to uphold this, and my hope is that there are providers available to every young person that will, but really just as well making sure that the young person is a part of this conversation, that they have a say in their health. And I think we are talking so much about vaccines and this idea that we should all feel safe and healthy and protect our communities, and I think young people have an incredibly important role to play in that. Mm-hmm. And so while I think it is very difficult to navigate the situation for everyone involved, I understand that a provider also has specific concerns and there were issues involved specifically for them. I think the more important thing is this idea of someone has a right to be healthy, and that a young person's health shouldn't be at stake because their age, really.
So what are the stories that you're hearing from young people who want to use this resource? Is it just parents who are against the vaccine, or are they against the vaccine for kids?
It ranges. So for some, it's parents who are hesitant and they want help convincing them. And I think that is such an incredible thing that a teenager could really have this belief, even if their parents do not, and try and convince them. And then there's sort of ranging on the spectrum. We have people whose parents are really deep in conspiracy theories and believe that a vaccine could have a microchip in it, or sort of ranging, very out there views. But yes, sometimes it's just for a young person, sometimes it's just about a COVID vaccination or all vaccinations. It really depends, and there's a wide spectrum. But I think the uniting thing to recognize is, even though a parent may hold this belief, that their child does not, and I think there's something very incredible and awe-inspiring in that.